show you every must-see attraction in Central Park, New York's most famous escape. But the best part is this guide will be stress-free and everything on this video can be seen in only a few hours, including a castle, the most scenic photo spots, and even a zoo. More on that later. Let's go see this castle. While on the way to the only castle in NYC, I got a little hungry, so I stopped by my favorite place to get something only New York is known for, and no, it's not pizza. Meet Billy, the friendliest hot dog vendor in the city, who sets up shop right across from Central Park. Billy is an absolute legend on this channel, and I have not been back here in quite some time. How you been? You're good, you're always here.
Soon I'm going on vacation. I'm going to the beach for 3 months.
I'm very jealous. I just want to get 2 hot dogs with onion and mustard.
How's your little baby?
He's not such a little baby anymore. It's been a while. See ya. Nothing like a nice warm wiener to wake you up at 11 in the morning. Hot dog, Central Park. Doesn't get much better. There's something magical about these hot dogs. I can't put my finger on what it is, but they're magic. Here's a little Easter egg in case you ever get lost in Central Park and your phone doesn't have any service. Look at one of the 1,600 lampposts. There is a 4-digit code which could help you out a lot. The first 2 digits represent the closest cross street, so in this case, it's 93rd. Now you have these 2 numbers here. The first number represents how close you are to the exit, and since this is 1, you could literally see the exit to the street right there. Now this last digit, if it's odd, it means you're on the west side of Central Park. If it's even, it means you're on the east side. And then when we look at this number as a whole, 19, this goes from 0 to 40, 40 being the center. We're about halfway to the center of the park.
I can't believe I ran into
you. Where are you from?
Patterson.
My mom used to teach in Patterson. Oh, it was nice meeting you. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks for all the great content.
Thank you. Appreciate it. The last thing you would expect in the middle of New York City is a castle, but lo and behold, Belvedere Castle. I feel like we're about to enter the Magic Kingdom. So this is built in the Gothic style with a single turret, 2 wooden balconies, 2 pavilions. Many brave men were killed here trying to save the princess. All right, this may come as no shock to you, but this isn't a real castle. There's no king, queen, or crown jewels inside, just more tourists. But hey, the architects Calvert Vaux and Jacob Ray Mold nailed it. A lot of stairs too. Oof, too many stairs today. We gotta go up there though, you know it, right? Perfect way to work off a hot dog is this. Whoa, we made it. Belvedere means viewpoint in Italian, and who needs a throne when you can rule over all of the tourists from the top of a fake castle? So we're on the 2nd highest natural point in Central Park. In 1919, the US Weather Bureau converted the building into a weather station, and they left in 1960. That was one of the original purposes here. Nothing gives you those old school European castle vibes like some reggaeton music in the background. This is nice, wow. Croton Reservoir right here. Thank you so much. Oh, you're welcome. We're actually filming a video right now about Central Park. Yeah. Of course, you gotta exit through the gift shop, even a castle. Strawberry Fields is a 2.5-acre landscape section of the park dedicated to John Lennon, the legendary Beatle and New Yorker who was murdered across the street from here in front of the Dakota Building in 1980. It was named after the Beatles song, Strawberry Fields Forever. All right, this is one of the most popular parts of Central Park, and if you're lucky, you can usually find somebody playing John Lennon and Beatles music right here.
There's no heaven. It's easy if you try.
The focal point of this is the Imagine Mosaic, right in the center. Typically there's flowers there, and it's named after John Lennon's most famous song, Imagine. On John Lennon's birthday and the day that he died and other holidays, there's a lot of flowers and gifts left on the Imagine Mosaic. Very heartfelt. People still care about the Beatles and John Lennon a lot. This is one of the park's most iconic spots, Bow Bridge, built in the Victorian era back in 1862. It spans 60 feet, and I'm willing to bet it gets at least 5 marriage proposals a day. This offers scenic views of the lake with the Manhattan skyline in the background, great for photos, and tons of movies have been filmed here like Manhattan, The Way We Were, and Keeping the Faith. Fun fact, Bow Bridge gets its name from its arched shape, which looks like the arch of a bow and arrow. I think the real magic of Central Park is that you see the skyline all around you, but you are away from it. There's this peace in the chaos that is New York. This could be the most beautiful spot in all of Central Park. Bethesda Terrace and fountain. Certain times a year, you even see turtles. There's one of them. So this is one of the very first structures to have been built in Central Park. Built during the Civil War, completed in 1863. And we've got grand architecture, a famous fountain, views over the lake. It's perfect for people watching. And you may have seen more photos of this in any other spot in the park. Now, when designing the Terrace, Frederick Law Olmsted and Calvert Vaux had a clear vision. Nature would take center stage with architecture playing a supporting role. They envisioned the Terrace as the heart of the park. Vaux even said nature first, second, and third, architecture can come later. The Bethesda fountain was designed with intricate carvings showing off the times of the day and 4 seasons. It is absolutely beautiful. The upper and lower terraces of the arcade are connected by these 2 grand staircases. This could be the crown jewel of Central Park. The Bethesda Arcade is like walking into a museum because on the ceiling are the world-famous Minton tiles from England. And these tiles are on the floors of many cathedrals all over Europe. This is the only spot in the entire world where the tiles are on the ceiling. Finally, a ceiling that knows is too cool for the floor. Yes?
I've been watching your videos for the last half year.
Very cool. You enjoying New York? Awesome. Well, it's nice to meet you.
Yeah, in Germany we just put a YouTube video and
Oh, thank you so much.
You don't know us, but we know you because we too watched all your videos before we came here.
Welcome to New York.
Thank you.
All right.
See you.
This is craziness. I've never been recognized so much in one day. Just steps from Bethesda Terrace, the mall and literary walk are a must-see. Visitors can experience this landscape in largely the same way they would have in the 19th century, strolling, sitting, people watching, listening to music. When the architects designed this walkway, they were inspired by European public spaces. The mall is home to one of the largest and last remaining batch of American elm trees in North America. Dutch elm disease decimated the population in the US. They stand today miraculously thanks to dedicated Central Park arborists who protect them. So appreciate all the trees here because it took a lot of work to preserve them. This is also one of the most photogenic spots in all of Central Park in the autumn. When the leaves change colors, there's nothing like it. The southern section of the mall is known as the Literary Walk because of the numerous statues of writers added there in the 19th century. Sheep Meadow. On a nice day, you will find swarms of New Yorkers here, picnicking, playing sports, relaxing, having lunch. It's tough to beat those skyline views and all this space because green space in New York is quite difficult to find. Sheep Meadow got its name from the flock of Southdon and Dorset sheep that roamed here from 1864 to 1934. Olmsted and Vaux thought the sheep added to the park's romantic English vibe. Plus, they had a practical job. They helped keep the grass trimmed and fertilize the lawn naturally. Although it's been almost 100 years since you could find sheep grazing here. The Dairy is Central Park's largest gift shop, and it's designed to resemble a Victorian cottage. It was actually finished in 1871. Originally, it was an eatery where children could get fresh milk, which wasn't readily available to many urban families. Does the Dairy sell dairy? Ooh, they have non-alcoholic phony Negroni. Even better. And every purchase you make here supports the Central Park Conservancy. So help support the park by buying something from this gift shop. Just a little note about riding pedicabs. There's a lot of great pedicab drivers in Central Park, but please negotiate a price first. Don't let it be one of those $5, $10 per minute rides, or you're gonna spend more than your plane ticket, okay? If you have some spare time, the oldest municipal zoo in the United States is right here in Central Park, admission 1995. It's pretty small, but it packs a punch. They've got snow leopards, red pandas, penguins. You can even see the sea lions from the outside if you stare carefully. Definitely a spot to go if you've got kids. Gapstow Bridge may look familiar to you if you are a fan of Home Alone 2, because this is the spot right underneath where Kevin meets the pigeon lady at the end. And if you look straight ahead, you can even see where Kevin stayed at the Plaza Hotel, one of New York's most expensive hotels for the record, during the holidays. Mainly because of him, I would say. If you're coming to New York for the holidays, we have an entire video dedicated to Home Alone 2 and all the filming locations. A fun fact, the first version of this bridge was built in 1874, but it was wooden with iron railings that couldn't handle the weather. So in 1896, a new stone bridge was built, and that's the one you see today. This is, no shock, called the Pond, and it was designed intentionally because when you leave busy Fifth Ave, you start to walk downwards into a peaceful area that feels away from the city noise. So even though it feels like you're leaving the city, you can still see the tall buildings on the other side, letting you know just how close you are to the hustle and bustle of Manhattan. This is one of the best entry and exit points to the park as well. So you know the best spots in Central Park, but what if you have more than one day here? In this video, we break down a 4-day itinerary to New York. Watch this next, take some notes.